Hey guys, it's Mark here. I want to do a quick review on this bike I got from Electric Cycles. It's a KHS 2500, 650 2500 full suspension bike. It has a BBS02 mid-drive motor on it, and it also has a SharkPack 48 volt Panasonic 18650 PF cell type battery. It's actually about 54 volts when fully charged. And it's good power for the BBS02. You know, depending on what gear I'm in, it can pretty much bring me up any hill, and I'm 220 pounds, and it does just fine with me on it. Now this does have throttle on it, so you can have throttle assist in addition to your pedal cadence or your pedal assist. And I got about 133 miles on it now, so I wanted to do a little bit of review. Tires are a little bit dirty. I'm actually in the U.S. military, and I'm deployed right now, and I brought it with me. I actually kept the original box with me, just to make sure I could bring it with me where I go. Just want to call out real quick that Chris at Electric Cycles and the other guys there who helped me order this bike back in the summertime, man, their customer service is just outstanding. And I highly recommend you guys, if you're thinking about buying a bike from them, just go ahead and do it. Their customer support has been amazing. I actually had a small issue that I reached out to them with the other day, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I mean, they replied the very next day. I got an email back with just suggestions on what to look out for and stuff. But just in the ordering process alone, Chris and Mitch, they helped me order this bike from Germany, where I'm stationed, and how, like I said, I even took it with me to my deployed location, and they have been nothing but helpful. I actually stopped myself from buying a high bike and a Bulls e-bike because, you know, they don't have throttle on them, and I was mid-purchase, and I backed out and said, nope, I'm going to go ahead and get this bike from Electric Cycles, and I'm glad I did. And to my surprise, when it came, it had the new screen on it, the color screen. I wasn't expecting it. After I ordered it, I seen it became available at like Luna Cycles and Electric Cycles. I wasn't sure if I was going to have it, but it does. And so I'm real happy that I didn't even have to ask for it. It just came. That's for nighttime mode. See, I'm at about 53 volts now. I've been riding it a little bit earlier. And there's daytime mode. If you hold down the bottom button, it actually has walk assist. So if you're going up steps or up a hill and you're walking next to it, you can actually get walk assist. So that's a really nice feature as well. So yeah, I got 133 miles on it now, and the bike it's amazing. It's held up everything I've thrown at it, and like I said, I'm 220 pounds, and I can't help but, you know, to jump it off steps and ride down steps and down hills, and I put the bike through a little bit of torture, but it's holding up really well. It's a little dirty right now because I'm riding around in gravel and sand a lot here, but the bike, if you're thinking about getting one, just do it. Hydraulic disc brakes, SRAM X7 gears, derailleur on the back. What else can I say about it? I mean, it's an amazing bike. There are a couple issues that I had with it. One was when I first got it, when the suspension was compressed, it was hitting the battery right here. I got another battery, but on the first one, it was just rubbing up here, so I did have to move the battery bracket. I had to move it up a little bit, just maybe an inch or less than an inch up, and now it clears no problem. So that was something I had to do myself, which I was a little surprised that when I got it, it was like that. But, you know, this is a do-it-yourself kit, and I'm sure it wasn't intentional. But by now I'm sure they got that figured out. Just had to move the battery a little bit higher up in the frame, but it does fit. So I moved it up as high as I could get it, and everything clears just fine. So that was one of my little gripes, but I didn't even bother messing with them because they were so helpful with everything else, and I got it fixed myself. It took, you know, 15 minutes just to relocate the mount, and now I'm all set. One of my things that I'm really displeased about the bike is just the the wiring. I wish the wiring was cleaner. And here's the brake, like hydraulic brake sensors. And maybe I would have been happier if, like, you know, I just had the one instead of both brake sensors, maybe just the rear brake, and maybe if it was relocated. But I mean, I understand why they did it because of the way the wiring harness is and just trying to centralize everything. But in the future, I may actually try to hide the wires and rewire everything myself when I'm ready to take on a project like that, maybe wintertime or something. But that's one of my complaints about the bike. But again, I ordered this bike knowing it's a do-it-yourself kit added on to a bike, and it was done professionally by Electric Cycles. So I knew that getting into it. So if you're looking for something refined, maybe like an electric high bike or Bulls or Scott with the Bosch system, maybe that's more for you. But for those of us who want more power, more speed, the throttle option, you know, this is a great bike, and I do not regret the purchase whatsoever. It's just one of those things you got to know before getting into the bike. Now, I did run into an issue with my throttle lately. What's happening is I am seeing my speedometer while I'm riding actually go to 0. And when that happens, my throttle stops working. And it's like intermittent. So I'll see the speed come back on, go off, come back on, go off. And every time it goes off, my throttle stops working. Now I noticed that when I bounce on my seat a little bit, or like relieve the pressure from the suspension, the speedometer comes back and my throttle comes back. But as soon as I sit back down, it's going back out. Now, I've played around to make sure there's no loose connections or anything with like the speedometer down here, the sensor. And as far as I can tell, every time the magnet passes, it's working properly. I've turned the bike upside down, spinning the tire. I've tried to troubleshoot it. And the only thing that I'm coming up with is when I'm putting pressure on the seat and the suspension's compressing. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's making my speedometer cut out. I've tugged and pulled on the wires down there to see if, you know, maybe when I'm compressing the suspension, if it's pulling or shorting it out. But at all the testing I've done, I still can't figure it out. So that is one issue. And if anyone out there has a suggestion on what the issue could be, you know, please maybe comment below and let me know if you ran into some similar situation where your throttle stops working. Now, like I said, this has the BBS O2 on it, not the BBS HD. So this is the 750 watt motor. And when I punch the throttle, it actually can jump up into 1300 watt range. But, you know, it's probably not smart to ride that throttle nonstop, you know, long duration of time. I've had no problem with it. See, you leave the bike on too long, it turns itself off. So that's a good feature. But with pedal assist level 5, yeah, you're pulling 750 watts. Throttle can jump you up a couple hundred more watts. But you know, you just gotta be responsible with that throttle. But overall, this bike is amazing, guys. If you're even thinking about getting one, just do it. And do it knowing that Electric Cycles will take great care of you. They have the best customer service. They're really about trying to make this fun and enjoyable sport or hobby for people out there. And just have confidence knowing that you'll have great support from those guys. And the throttle issue, like I said, I emailed them, and immediately they emailed me back and gave me some areas to look for and some suggestions on what to look at. So their responsiveness is excellent. If you guys have any questions about the bike, just let me know. Added my bell here. Other than that, highly recommended. Oh yeah, top speed 32 miles an hour. Downhill I hit 38 once.